Um, let's
Fuck
start.
it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Let me crack my conversation juice. And we got a new guest. Everybody knows Anktoyu and Master Moose from my chat, but
Heyo.
we have a new guest today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
How's it going? My name's Micah Rock and Roll, because I love rock and roll. And do you need to know who I'm? Your brother, I guess.
Life story. Let's dish it out.
Yeah.
I was first
Life
conceived.
story?
I was first conceived to a Michael W. Smith album.
Yeah. Amy Grant.
Amy Grant's soothing voice just carried my father's seed away.
Oh, God.
The way you
Gross.
paint a picture. Amazing.
It's kind of like Pocahontas, painting with all the colors of the wind.
Yeah. Just feces and visceral, though, in your case.
Yes. Anyway, this will be this is gonna be the same format as the top 5 game stream. So we're gonna go one at a time with our fifth entry, and then work our way up. And then right before we list our top movie of all time, we're gonna, if you have honorable mentions, then that's the time to mention them, I guess.
I have 8.
8 honorable, Jesus.
No, I don't really. I cut it down from last time for sure.
I think I have 3. But Micah, since you are new to the group, what
Oh boy.
you can start. What's your number 5 on your list?
Okay. So I have a bunch of honorable mentions. I kept swapping them in and out of the top 5, but I'll kick things off lighthearted and with an absolute classic comedy, Tommy Boy.
Oh,
Great movie.
Yeah, I was saying to Josiah before we started streaming that I rarely watch movies more than once. I've only seen almost every movie on this list. I've only seen once, even though I really, really like them. But I've seen Tommy Boy a bunch because it's just every scene's hilarious. There's so many good moments, and it's like it's Chris Farley and David Spade at their absolute best, and they have such good chemistry, and it's got like such heart. Like it's actually like it has like genuine moments where you like, I don't know, you actually can feel for the characters. It's not just throwaway jokes all the time.
it's not
Like you care about the relationship with his dad and the love interest. It's all really good. It's a good one.
it's not
It
just
is.
Chris Farley falling through tables.
No,
Mhm.
Actually,
I mean, there's plenty of that, and it's
plenty
good.
of that.
But
Holy
but they
shnikes!
went the extra mile and made it a real movie.
I love the boat scene. When they're on the boat and the kids are just heckling them. Such a good scene.
So help me God!
Yeah.
No,
That's classic.
I always get scenes from Tommy Boy mixed up with scenes from Black Sheep.
Yeah, people don't like Black Sheep. I thought Black Sheep was good too.
It's not as good as Tommy
It was
Boy, but
fun.
No, but I remember having really good. Was that the one where he's like, "What happened? Did you fall in some crud or whatever?"
Yeah.
I said mud.
One of the reasons why it actually got a lot of hate was because he wanted to do a different movie. And they basically said, well, we have you on contract, so you're going to do this movie. And they wrote it in like a week.
Oh, that's
Like
funny.
it was, yeah. I still think it's funny. I still,
Yeah, it definitely had
Yeah.
good moments. It definitely felt like the same movie as Tommy Boy.
yeah, it was definitely kind of a spiritual successor.
Yeah.
oh man,
If not no, it's definitely not an outright
sequel.
But yeah.
The deer scene in the car.
Yeah, yeah.
The deer comes back to
Yeah.
life. They pull up to the diner with a baby gate on the door.
Yeah, just that's my favorite bit of that whole movie is how the car just gets more and more destroyed as the movie
Yes.
goes on. It's just so funny. It's such a good detail. There's so many like They just packed it with so many just fun ideas and really, really good bits and great
How they-
lines, obviously. And,
How they
go ahead.
played that bit in the beginning too, where it's just the little M&Ms just roll across, and it's like, oh, okay, well that's done. That's just a throwaway thing. That was funny, and it
Good
just
for the
keeps,
car.
yeah, it just keeps coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, and he like loves it too. He's like all precious about it. Yeah, that's great. And then when the door falls off, what'd you do?
Yes.
What did you? Fat? Is that fat guy in a little coat?
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Yeah, it has so many bits. Like even like that whole scene's really funny. It has nothing to do with the movie at all, really. Like it's not tied in with it. It's just a fun moment. It's just
Yeah.
filled with really like the bees pretending to be attacked by bees.
Yeah.
Fucking the dancing bit, he's spraying himself in gasoline and like dancing around. It's totally insane. Cow tipping, it just has everything.
It has it all. Oh boy. Is there anything else you'd like to add to Tommy Boy?
I'm good. I think I've made my case.
Go buy it on Amazon. There's the screen. I was looking up movie posters, but I can't make the movie poster full screen.
Ah,
So, all right. Who wants to go next? Ank or Moose?
your call, bud. It's all good here.
All right, so I'll go in here. So my top 5 is the best sci-fi movie ever made, Apocalypse Kiss.
Jesus.
That's
What is this?
that made it on your. Oh,
I gotta look it up.
Oh man, it is something.
Yeah, so many
It's-
great twists.
No,
That
it,
movie.
no, it does not.
I'm assuming you're being sarcastic, Nate.
No,
sorry, I
definitely
don't-
not.
He's, I'm hoping he's at least being ironic for liking this movie. It's not a horrible movie. It's just not a good one.
1 star.
It's,
Okay.
it's pretty bad.
Generous.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah,
It's about.
I mean,
I
The-
mean,
the-
it's entertaining though, and it really is.
the big twist is you have this deaf girl who turns out not to be deaf and is Russian. Then you later find out she's not Russian, she's American. And that's like the biggest twist of the movie.
And it plays no point in the plot whatsoever.
at all. It's just
Like nothing happens or doesn't happen just because people think she's mute or Russian or whatever.
or
How did you hear about this? How did all you guys know about this movie? I've never heard of it or seen
Nate,
it or
I
anything.
heard it through Nate.
Yep. That's,
I found that through this show on Rooster T called Theater Mode, so they just watch shitty movies.
Wow,
Okay.
oh, so
okay.
always
Apocalypse
we used to do
Kiss.
bad movie night,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
the ending was great. The world just blows up, and all the rich people fly to a different planet.
Yep. That's it.
And I know this is spoiler alert, but nobody should watch this movie.
Wow. Leave it to Nate coming in with an ironic choice.
Well, it start like if it had funding and good actors and better.
Well, they
dialogue.
probably spent all the budget
It was
on.
an interesting world, and it was an interesting premise, not super original, but an interesting one. We even had a debate like,
Was this movie bad on
It's
purpose?
yeah, like is this too good to actually be bad movie night? It's definitely not good enough for good movie night, but like
The serial
really
killer.
had a discussion. Oh, I forgot about the serial killer.
There's a pointless serial killer subplot
Yep.
that made no. Again,
That's
Yeah.
the only thing I'm reading about here in the description is that there's a serial killer and 2
Oh,
sexy
it's such a
drifters.
small part. There's a lot of the drifters.
yep,
Sounds like there's a lot going on.
Too
Like,
much.
Too much stuff.
Yes.
too much, and like there's at least 30 minutes of just dialogue between some dude that's full frontal.
Oh, yeah.
Just like
Yep.
half hour of like him getting interviewed and he refuses to put on pants.
Yeah.
Well, now I got it.
Now
It's
I
not
got-
impressive.
It's not
by any
impressive.
means.
It's you know, it's a little baby toe in a swimming pool,
Button in a fur coat.
button in a fur coat.
Oh my god. For some reason, the box art is reminding me of that movie, which is I think an honorable mention. Do you remember? I think it was called Dark World.
Oh,
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
yeah. Let's
It's
not
kind of like
let's not bring that up.
oh, sorry.
Spoiler
Okay, never
alert!
mind.
The spoiler alert for
Good
later.
choice.
So, do you have anything else to say on Apocalypse Kiss?
No.
No. that's what I thought. Um, watch it or don't. I mean, we're all gonna end up in quarantine again soon, so we'll all have free time to watch 3 hours of Apocalypse
If
Kiss.
you can watch it for free,
Dong shots.
if you can watch it for free, and you have 2 hours to kill, try and sleep first. And if you can't, then maybe watch this movie.
Wow.
All right, Moose, what is your number 5?
Yes. My number 5 is a big movie from my childhood. It's called A Bronx Tale.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I like a
I've-
Bronx Tale for sure.
I've heard of that. Is that the
1993.
is that the one with The Rock and Justin
No.
Timberlake? Yeah.
No.
What?
This is it was directed and produced by Robert De Niro.
Oh, I'm thinking of
And-
Southland Tales.
Oh,
That's
and it stars Robert De Niro as well. Chaz Palminteri is another
Who?
Italian actor who everyone would know if they watch like any
Yeah.
mafia movies.
okay.
He's in a
The
ton of shit.
interest.
He's the
what
main bad
interest-
guy, yeah.
Well, that's the interesting thing about Sonny, though. Is he really the bad guy? Because he helps
Mm.
raise the child, and so like he's not a good guy. He's definitely not a good guy,
He
but
just
he
doesn't
runs
hurt
his,
children.
Yeah, and he helps the neighborhood, and so he protects the neighborhood and everything. So it's
Mm. An anti-hero.
So
Yeah,
what's the main plot of the movie?
well, it's interesting story about this movie is this movie originally was a one-man show written and starring Chaz Palminteri himself. And what ended up happening was Robert De Niro saw the one-man play, loved the story, so he cast himself as the boy's father, and this was based on Chaz's childhood.
Oh no shit.
So Chaz played Sonny. De Niro played the father to the boy, and it's all about this boy growing up, and his father wants him to be a working class person, but he sees these Italian guys who are walking around with money and respect, and why work all your life if you can do this?
Yeah, that's
It's just him battling, and then there's some racial stuff too because of the time and stuff. He likes a black girl, but he can't be seen with that. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff. Fantastic movie. This beat out. I'm a huge fan of mafia movies. This beat out numerous mafia movies.
really did it.
Yeah.
Did it beat out?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to call your list. Never mind.
No, this is the only mafia-esque movie on my list. It beat Casino. It beat Goodfellas. It beat Donnie Brasco.
Wow, it
Dang.
beat Casino.
Yep.
That's
I've never seen Casino. I gotta watch
Amazing
it
movie.
because I like
Definitely
all
watch
those
it.
movies.
Definitely
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, that is a really good movie. It's also like simple is the wrong word, but it's like a good self-contained like
Yeah.
story or something. I
oh,
don't know
so
what
you
I'm
mean
trying
to tell
say,
me
but,
they're
like, it's the opposite of Apocalypse Kiss.
Yes,
There's just
Yes.
the
Yeah.
right amount of stuff going
Yes.
what was that movie
And,
called again?
A Bronx Tale.
A Bronx Tale. I'm trying to
Yes.
keep up on the movie posters, but
Okay. I don't know if you want me to like talk about a scene or anything like that in it.
it's up to you. If you want to talk,
'Cause, I do
put a
have-
spoiler warning up. So
I do have a favorite scene in the movie.
okay,
Which is so they're outside. Sonny owns the bar. They're around the corner. They see bikers come in and stuff. They're revving their engines, being loud and stuff. They see him go to the bar, so they go into the bar, and the bikers there are giving the guy a hard time because they're not dressed right. So Sonny says, "What's the issue here?" And ends up telling them, the bartender, "All right, give them some drinks." So they get drinks. They shake them up and they spray the beer all over the bartender. Sonny tells them to get out. They basically tell Sonny to go fuck themselves. or to go fuck himself. Sonny just calmly, without saying a word, walks over the door, closes it, locks the door, turns back to him and says, "Now you can't leave." 8 fucking Goombas come out of the back with baseball bats.
Oh
And the
no.
terrified bikers just get fucking wrecked. They throw the bikers outside. They start going to town on the bikes themselves. The neighborhood is watching. They're all watching this shit. What do? They just start kicking the bikers that are on the ground. Yeah, love that movie. Absolutely love it.
All right. So my number 5 is my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
Oh,
And I think Matt already knows which one this is.
definitely do.
And that would be Die Hard. Bruce Willis's masterpiece. The best Die Hard in the series, because all the other ones can, 2 is okay. But you know, tis the reason for the season. Watch Alan Rickman fall off of Nakatomi Plaza in slow motion.
Saw it for the first time last year.
The
It
first
is
Die
really
Hard?
good.
Oh, when
Yeah.
it's all just barefoot through the whole movie, and like you guys can spoil that if you haven't seen Die Hard yet. That's
Yeah, come on, guys.
come on,
on.
Micah. You saw it last year. Jeez.
I know.
But probably my favorite bit in this movie is when they find the dead guy with the note. Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho. And he just proceeds to fuck everybody up for the rest of the movie.
Does.
And it has the best side character ever, Argyle. Just the limousine driver is the best side character in the movie. I mean,
Go
go ahead.
go ahead. I was just gonna say after I watched it, it is great. It's a really, really good movie, and it's fun, because he's just like, I mean, yes, he's a cop, but he's kind of like a regular guy kind of vibe.
Yep.
And it's fun to like watch a quote unquote regular guy get thrown into a weird situation. But as soon as I was done watching it, I immediately started imagining what the reboot would be like if they end up, because they reboot everything. Like who would be the sort of regular guy who gets turned into a hero. And here's my pick for the Die Hard reboot hero. It would be
Bruce Willis.
now I'm blanking on his name.
Oh no.
Crap. Who's Childish Gambino's real name?
Donald Glover?
Oh, Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. Because I think he could be funny. I think he could like have like the funny moments, and he could also look badass.
There you
So
go. Interestingly enough, they did try to reboot the Die Hard series.
Yeah.
It was going to be starring John McClane's son, and it was going to be called Die Hard. It was going to take place after. I don't remember there's like 7 Die Hard movies now, and only 2 of them are good.
The first one I saw was like one of the first new one in a long time, and it was not a good movie.
Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one after that that's not
The PG-13 one where they
Yes.
couldn't even say his line.
Well, no, they could say his line once because you can only drop one F-bomb in a PG-13
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
So you didn't get the classic dirty mouth John McClane because he used up his F-bomb. But
I
at least he
think-
did it while driving a tank into a helicopter. So I don't remember.
I
Yeah, I
think
believe that's true.
Always Sunny did an episode based on that.
Based on, I thought that was Lethal Weapon.
No. This is a different one. They go to a test screening for a movie called Thunder Gun, which is the movie they all love.
Yeah.
And then,
he
like,
got stuck in the sewer.
no, they're going to a test screening. They're there for a test screening of the newest one that hasn't come out yet. This
Oh,
is way
no.
later in the series, and the whole thing is how they're passing it off to a new generation of now the son is going to take over, and they just shit on it the entire time, saying how horrible the idea is.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe coincidence. Maybe not. I
maybe
don't know.
somebody's
I
a
don't
huge
know.
Die Hard fan.
Maybe.
And
Why wouldn't
sorry.
you be?
but yeah, another little fun fact about Die Hard is none of the Die Hard movies started out being written as a Die Hard movie.
None of them.
None of them, except for the ones nobody likes. So
Really?
Die Hard 1 was going to be based on a novel, and then the author was like, I don't like the sounds of this. So they rewrote it a little bit and made Die Hard 1. I forget what movie Die Hard 2 was supposed to be, but that wasn't supposed to be Die Hard. And Die Hard 3 with Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
that was originally going to be Lethal Weapon 4.
Oh, I think I knew that.
No shit. That makes so much sense. I could totally see that being a Lethal Weapon movie. God, what an great series.
Yep. I thought about putting that on my list. But all right.
Never seen Lethal Weapon either.
What? Danny
No.
DeVito's in those too.
Really?
Uh huh.
Oh yeah.
He's like their like shitty little informant helper.
The greasy
guy, yeah.
greasy Italian snitch.
Yeah.
All right. I got nothing else to say about Die Hard. Just watch it if you haven't.
Or no, I'm sorry, not Danny DeVito. It's Joe Pesci. I apologize.
Tall,
Same
tall,
vibe.
Tall Danny
Yeah.
DeVito.
They're short. Both look like my grandmother. That's seriously as old as Italians age. They just look more like old women.
That's true. I've
Yeah.
noticed that.
Look,
I've
dude,
noticed.
Google a picture of Joe Pesci right now. I swear to God, I have photos in an album of my grandmother that looks just like that.
Striking.
It is. I did a double take when I watched The Irishman.
All
Is
right.
that good? I kind of want to see that.
It's long.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's what everyone says.
I mean, it's if you're really into the genre, it's entertaining, but just know that it is complete fabrication and there's nothing solid to actually support.
Mm.
A good day
what's
to
going
die
on.
hard. Sorry, that's what it's called. A good day to die hard.
Yes.
Don't bother. So Micah, what is your number 4?
Oh boy. So this is the only animated one on my
Ooh.
list. And it is Spirited Away.
I have never seen this.
I haven't either.
It's really, really good. It's Miyazaki film. If you're into anime, it's a real good one.
Oh, I
and
know
it's-
this. I haven't seen it, but I know this. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a girl gets transported into a bathhouse full of like spirits and monsters and stuff, and it's just really cool. It's as you were saying, Apocalypse Kiss has an amazing world. So does Spirited Away. It has just really cool characters, and there's like all these rules for how the world works, and the way you kind of just accept it as it's happening. They don't over explain everything. Like I feel like how not anytime, but a lot of film, like I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, like maybe
Marvel films.
yeah, exactly. There's no exposition to explain like what the special orb does or whatever. You just kind of intuit what everything is and how it works as it's happening, and it's just a really, really cool like just a huge like she gets stuck in a bathhouse, and it's just like filled basically with like RPG monsters basically. And like it kind of reminds me of like almost like speaking of RPGs, like it has like Chrono Trigger vibes almost, and just
Okay.
like talking frogs and weird ass monsters, and everyone's kind of living in a big town. And
I'll have to
I don't
check
know,
that out.
it's really, really good. It's worth watching for sure. It's just, and the animation's obviously awesome, but yeah, it's just it's a good example of just creating a really unique, cool world without like over explaining everything. Like even like a Christopher Nolan movie, like they're all like pretty good. Like you kind of buy it, but there's always like this like walk and talk scene of like, this is the Excelsior, and you know what this does, and then it's like none of that happens, but there's all this stuff. There's like that level of detail of like how the world works and like what's going on that you need to be kind of aware of, but it just you kind of like, it almost feels like myth or something. Like you kind of just get the feeling of why it works because it's kind of elemental in a weird way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I don't know, you just kind of buy into it really easily without a ton of explanation. It's just a really cool movie. It's
Yeah.
definitely worth watching.
It's been on my list, my HBO queue for I can't tell you how long.
Yeah,
Can't tell you.
I've been meaning to watch a bunch of his movies, and yeah, that's the one I started with. It was really good.
One of
I've
my
heard-
favorite. Go ahead.
I was just no, go ahead. It doesn't matter.
One of my favorite anime movies is one of his as well. It's Princess. I butchered.
Oh
his
yeah,
fucking name.
Mononoke.
or something.
That's the
Yeah,
only one
dude.
I've seen of him.
Dude, it's
I,
just gorgeous.
Yeah. That's a good example of like another good example of like a world where you just kind of buy into it. It's
Yep.
not like over explained. It's like that. I saw that in the theaters. They had like a studio Ghibli, however you say it, marathon here in New York.
Oh,
I saw
Wow.
that. I
a lot
saw
of
that in Totoro in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Totoro's like more like childish, but it's still like really entertaining.
Yeah, there was an interview with that guy, and he's like, "You got to have a target audience, or your movie's gonna fail." And he's like, "It just so happens that this movie was targeted towards 12-year-old girls." It's like became a hit with everybody else because I stuck to that vision. This is a
Yeah.
movie that I created for 12-year-old girls, and it just so happened to be so believable that everybody else liked it. He said, "If you try to target everybody, nobody's gonna be happy. So you might as well."
Yeah, there's a documentary with him where he like it's like a half hour. Have you ever gone to that? It's basically like Japanese PBS. I think it's called NHK if you look it up.
Okay.
They have all kinds of like free, really cool English language like documentaries and shows and stuff. And one of them is an documentary with him following him as he's making one of his movies, and he's like such a miserable dude. Like he
I was gonna
hates
say.
everything he makes. He's so pissed
Really?
at like everything. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's just like, this fucking sucks. Like, just sucks so bad. And like, it's nothing I'm doing is working. It's all shit. And it's like the best thing you've ever seen.
Like anime is a mistake. That's one of his
Yeah.
lines. Anime was a mistake. Like,
Yeah,
dude, you're
he's like-
one of the most famous anime.
yeah.
It's funny. It's fun to watch his creative process and just see like how like miserable he is and how long it takes him to like get in a creative groove where he finally feels like he's doing something worthwhile.
Wow.
All right. Moving along so we don't keep Nate up past his bedtime. Nate, what is your number 4? And if you say Apocalypse Kiss 2, I'm kicking you.
Is that real?
No,
No.
I hope not. I do.
No, my number 4 is gonna be Equilibrium.
Ooh.
Probably my favorite action movies of all
Oh
time.
yeah, that was cool.
Fantastic.
I'd say it kind of defines the "if I touch my dog, I'll fucking kill you" genre that
Yeah.
a few movies
Yeah,
have.
it did.
Let a few, dude. Was it Gun Kata? Was amazing.
Yeah.
I think I've
Yeah.
seen this movie at least 5 or 6 times. Whenever I
Yeah.
just feeling grumpy, I put it on and watch him just.
I feel like I rented it from somewhere in Oneonta or New Berlin. Actually, when did that come out? It's kind of an older movie.
Yeah, it came out
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right around the Matrix. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
because that was
Yeah,
like the thing
uh,
everyone compared it to.
Came out 2002.
there you go.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
I first saw it from my friend Bobby in high school, and we had seen that movie so many times.
That was cool.
Oh,
What-
so amazing.
What's
Tay Diggs loses his face.
Yeah, he does.
what's your favorite part of that movie, Nate?
I mean, I think one scene where he has the ammunition with like the rockers on it. He just throws them out in different areas of the building he's
Yeah.
going through.
They just
Oh,
stand up.
yeah.
Probably that was the best action scene. in the whole
Weeble
movie.
wobble pistol clips.
Yeah, those are dope.
I watched the back when everyone got DVDs, they had like the extras or whatever, and they were showing how they did stuff, and all like the broken arms and broken legs were squids. They put squids in people's sleeves
Really?
because they've they had like mass, but they had like a good like snap to them, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, like and Yeah, so like any broken arm in that movie where he's like snapping someone's arm, it's a squid stuffed in a
That's awesome.
sleeve.
That is weird. I've never heard of that. Who?
One of my favorite stunts from that movie is pretty early on, if not like the first scene, where he gets a shotgun and he runs at a door and he like shoots the door with the shotgun and then jumps and puts his knees into it and then like slides spinning on the door.
That was
Oh,
his
yeah.
character
People in the
introduction.
dark.
that was
Yeah.
that was his
Dude, it was
intro-
amazing.
He's just kind of like waving his arms back and forth, and you just see people dying in bursts of light.
Yeah,
It's just like
Yeah.
5 minutes long of people screaming and dying, and then
yeah.
the lights turn on.
Yeah.
What was the story? He was like an agent for an authoritarian government, and then he like learns to
He
be
got
a
off
good
his-
guy.
He got off
Yeah,
his
get
medicine.
off
Yeah.
the. Okay,
Well,
okay,
'cause
yeah.
there's
yeah.
Yeah,
like
they
a-
had like these drugs that like suppress your emotions, and he, for some reason, stopped taking them. And that
I
just
think
kinda
he
sets up-
missed the first dose. I think the first dose was accidental. He missed it.
He dropped it down a drain. He dropped it.
Yeah. And then like
Ah.
from there he started feeling better. And so one of the big things too is that anything like art or music that can invoke emotion is also illegal. So like that day or the next day they get to a huge thing where there's like music playing and he sees paintings and stuff for the first time off the meds.
Oh shit!
and so
Yeah.
and that kind of like kickstarts everything. And then he finds that puppy.
And then he finds the puppy.
Poor puppy.
Oh, I
It's
need,
funny.
need to show the poster.
Yeah, it was a mix of like a lot of classic sci-fi's, like was
Yeah.
it Fahrenheit for whatever it is,
Mhm.
451 or whatever, and Brave New World and all that. It's like kind of
Yeah.
like all of them melded together.
It's kind of like a.
It was well done too. I think it's so underrated.
Yeah, it was cool. And it's like a not low budget, but like not a huge budget movie. Like they
Right.
did a really good job making it feel pretty awesome for probably, having a quarter of the budget of whatever other sci-fi movie that came out that year.
Oh, somebody just wandered in.
We got a wild.
We got a wild Neo relic. Do you want to get caught up on your list? We're 2 ahead of you.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, we're gonna interject.
Yes.
Miles here. Or Neo relic.
Hey.
Hey, no names.
Hey.
No names.
Hey.
The government's
Oh.
watching, bro.
See,
Just
I
call him
was
what he
already
is. He's
ready.
a oof and
I
boofer.
was already ready. I thought about it quite a bit, and I'm going number 5. I'm gonna be crafty with The Fifth Element. if that
Whoa.
makes any sense.
Oh.
Number 5, Fifth Element. Okay, you get my drift.
I don't get it.
Movie.
Okay.
All right. There.
Classic film.
Classic. What's your favorite? What is? Just go on. Keep going on about it. What
There's
is?
just I don't know, to this day I watch it, and it's still the way, for some reason, the way it's filmed is it almost seems like it could be filmed yesterday. There's this way that they filmed it that's just like I don't know, the characters, the acting, of course, Mila Jovovich, and like bandages. It's not a bad thing either. But, I don't know, just the Corbin Dallas, the multi-pass. I mean, there's just so many. The villain in it was like, there was like 2 different villains, like the one that was like,
Gary Oldman
destroying the
killed
earth,
it.
and then there was one that was, this guy who was like this corporation that was like all corrupted and shit. I mean, if I, I don't think I spoiled anything.
Well, let's not forget
But,
about the best character.
Oh, and it's, it just, there's so many.
Ruby Rod.
Corbin Dallas. Like-
We're gonna die.
I think the coolest thing for me in that movie.
What is
is,
Corbin? Were you nervous in the service? Not really.
What was that, Micah?
I was gonna say I really love the. I don't know, it just popped into my head that isn't there like a flying noodle restaurant in that, like
Yeah.
that flies up to his house.
Yep.
Just that
Don't
concept
forget
is
you.
cool as hell.
Yeah, it is.
That's when the letter comes down, and he's like, a mail for you. You got a letter. He's like, I'm not gonna read it. It's always bad news. And he's like, I'll bet you lunch on it. and he like reads it, and he's like, "You are fired." He's like, "Well, joke's on me," and like, "Fortune for you." This shit is hilarious. Oh yeah, the flying cars, the way the city was built, like that crazy. I don't remember the name of the actual city. If they even, it's just like a mega city. It's
Yeah,
just, like,
it might not even
huge.
be on Earth.
And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Just
cool movie for sure.
the four elements, and like blah blah. But you know. So yeah, that was my number 5. Let's see.
You gotta do number 4 too to get it all
Oh.
caught up.
Okay. Well, these are all very contested on my list as to which ones are actual. Like my top 3 and 4 are pretty much just all number ones. But you know, you kind of. So I'm going Predator.
Ooh, Predator.
Oh,
Solid one.
Can watch it a million times. Can watch it over and over again. Never gets old. The
Yeah.
character or the design of the Predator, I always thought was like really cool. The insectoid kind of like amphibious
Yeah.
insectocidal, whatever the fuck it is. You know.
And that cast too, like body
Mhm.
mass alone.
Yeah.
Like how much did that cast
And the
away?
whole minigun scene and like
The
it's just-
most roided out movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how many shots in the fucking left butt cheek did everybody take before they said action?
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
They just stand in a circle and they get each other's to the
dude,
to the left side.
It was
Just a,
crazy.
a conga line of steroids.
Yeah. Yep.
Line up, boys.
Line up. Henry the Roid boys coming through. Lunch is over. All right.
This shit will make you a sexual tyrannosaurus. It's an actual line from the movie, which is freaking awesome. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the characters, the people, the plot line, everything, just good, great, phenomenal.
And there's the man himself. He's the
Who just
actual.
walked back over. Who's walking up here now?
Oh, that's Katie.
Oh,
All right. So that brings us to Nate. What is your number 4?
We already did my number 4.
You did?
we got
Oh,
into
Matt's.
these now.
Matt, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is My Cousin Vinny.
Oh.
I had to put a
Oh.
comedy on here.
Okay.
Yeah, My Cousin Vinny, 1992, directed by Jonathan Lynn, who also did the Clue movie, which is also pretty entertaining.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Same writer as Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Oh, I
and
forgot about
I
that.
mean-
Oh, that's a good movie.
I was a coming to age child
Oh,
watching
no.
Marissa Tomei. So,
Talk about cars.
That's
Mm,
yeah, what else do I need? Joe Pesci, Ralph Macchio. I mean, it's just, it's a
all
classic.
this actor.
Yeah.
Ah,
They're
yeah.
still good. Such a great movie, man.
Phenomenal.
I've seen it countless times.
phenomenal cast there.
Yeah, it is.
Hate to admit it, I have not seen this film. I know it's good.
Really?
I know.
Oh.
Dude, you're,
All right, so
you're a
Yeah.
film
I'm-
editor. You've never seen
I'm
these
just
movies.
gonna give a quick. My
I know.
favorite scene is when Pesci first goes to meet his new clients. That's all I'm gonna say. Go see this movie. It's amazing.
All right, we're gonna leave it at that so we don't give any away spoilers.
Real quick, am I under the correct impression that Vin Diesel is in this movie?
Yes,
Okay.
because they're family. Yes,
Oh man.
my cousin Vin D.
Yes.
Vinny D.
No, I'm not joking.
I'd watch that
is he
sequel. No,
legit?
no, Vin Diesel is not in this one.
Oh, okay. He's in some movie that has a similar title then.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
All right. I just
You know,
want.
he used to be a breakdancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in
Yeah.
breakdance videos.
And a Street Shark salesman.
That I did not know.
There's videos of him like at a toy trade show, all psyched about Street Sharks action figures.
Amazing.
That is
I'll
awesome.
link to
Is
that.
Dave on?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, cool.
Jeez, I love Street Sharks. I had a bunch of those toys growing up.
So
Same.
does Vin.
Chat box.
Yeah, still.
Still-
He throws the awards in the closet because he has that Street Sharks display.
Yep.
Yeah, Street
Still in the
Sharks.
case.
Street Sharks.
Yeah, I
Get
forgot
outta
that.
here.
That's Or at least he used to be. Cobra's one of his favorites, Fifth Element.
Oh, that is good. That's one of Katie's favorites, surprisingly.
That does actually surprise
There's
me a little
something
bit.
about the vibe in that movie. Dude.
Yeah.
Something about
It's
the
great.
vibe, dude.
It's yeah.
just-
Um,
it had
Gary
full
Oldman's
circle,
fucking
like,
hair in that, dude.
saving the world.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude.
Gary Oldman.
Phenomenal.
We are on number 4. What's your four? What's your number 4, Katie? What do you have? 3? Okay, I'm gonna. All right, I'm just gonna guess your favorite movies, Katie. I know her number 1
No white.
and her number 2, but I don't know the rest. All right, for my number 4,
Get out
and
of here.
get on out, dirty dog. You smell like rain and mud puddles. Ew, he really does stink. Okay, my number 4. Did everybody get dropped?
No.
What? I'm
Oh.
here.
Okay, I thought it sounded like everybody got dropped. All right, my number 4 is gonna be not liked by Master Moose, but Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, I like that movie.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good movie.
I thought you didn't
I've
like that.
never
movie.
talked trash about that movie.
Oh, maybe you just talk trash about Michael Cera.
Maybe I'm a fan of his too.
Who's
I don't know. There
whatever.
might have been something in the show or something. No, I do like that movie. I think it's great.
Definitely.
I just rewatched it recently. It's really good, actually.
Same, actually. Yeah,
Dude.
like 2 months ago.
The amount
It's
of
got a lot of good bits.
references to video games, like in the
Yeah.
first 20 minutes, is like 18 Zelda references.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I love like the sound effects just pop off while they're doing shit.
Yeah,
That was
and then the
fun.
piss bar shows up when he's, and has to drain before he can move on. And then just like the amount of like picking on hipsters in that movie.
Yeah, I love the scene where he's like, "Your haircut sucks" or whatever, and the guy just poofs into coins with the insult.
Haircut sucks. It just hurt his feelings so bad he died. No, one of my favorites is he has to know 3 passwords to get into the club. And it's like, what's the password? You're in. What's the password? Whatever, man. Okay, you're in. It's like him like sighing in disgust about being asked if he's allowed in the club.
Yes.
And then, it gets a little touchy-feely in the end. But I'd like to point out that Scott Pilgrim beats up Superman, Captain America, and Captain Marvel in this movie.
I didn't even think about that.
Um,
Yeah.
Dude, the scene where the vegan loses his powers because he had too much non-vegan food recently.
Yeah. Was that Schwartzman? Was that Jason Schwartzman?
That was Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah,
and
Makes sense.
the guy who played Punisher in the
What are you doing?
shoot, what are you doing in here? What a dick. What are you doing? This is our boy time.
No, the cast is so good though, man. Audrey Plaza, Michael Cera. We need to see Kieran Culkin in way more things.
Yeah, he's great, and if you watch Succession,
Hell
he's-
yeah, I do.
yeah, I can't wait for
Oh,
this
it's
season.
coming back soon. I'm so
know.
excited.
Me too.
You need like a little monitor speaker.
Yeah, I need a speaker and I need a non-headset microphone. Sorry to interrupt everybody. I was like, but dude, just the fact that he shares a bed with his gay roommate. That's how comfortable they are together. Scott, are you waiting for the package you just ordered? Maybe.
Out. Out.
But anyway, this is a really long movie. It's longer than I thought it would be. But I'll just close with the line. At first I was bi-curious, but now I'm a little bi-furious. And then the fight starts. And
Oh,
that's my number 4. And Katie, what's your number 3?
4.
Come on, you don't even have to say it. I'll say it. I'm gonna make one up for you.
I told you my list.
No, you didn't. You told me 2 movies. Edward Scissorhands is Katie's
Oh.
number 3.
Giant Depp.
I got that an honorable mention.
Oh,
Classic.
Nice. I knew somebody in our family would have that.
Excellent movie.
Yeah, that's all movie. Awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
All right, Micah, what is your number 3?
Oh boy, this one's a little obscure.
Okay.
I mean, it's known, but it's like weird. It's called The Holy Mountain. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
No.
It is from
Like holy or
19.
holy?
This is the Holy, HOLY.
Oh, I was thinking W like a volcano.
No. It's about yeah.
Same thing.
About a mountain with a hole in it.
Yeah, a holy mountain.
It's the story of how they named volcanoes because before the word volcano, they called them holy mountains. No, it's from 1973. It's super psychedelic and totally bizarre. It was produced by the Beatles,
Really?
and it was written and starring where's his name? Alejandro Jodorowsky. Do you know that, Joe? I feel like you should know this name.
Why
Does it
would
ring
I?
a bell?
Why would I know that name?
You don't know
Because he writes comic books. He wrote the Inkle, which was drawn by Mobius.
Oh,
So-
okay. See, I know.
So he's like a yeah. You should read the Inkle. It's really cool too, actually.
All right.
But yeah, it's super psychedelic, totally weird, and it's like it's one of those movies where like the main character is just called the Thief, and he's like going through
Okay.
totally like bizarre situations, and it's like all like metaphor and what's the other word for metaphor? I don't know. I can't remember.
Whoopsie-daisy.
Allegory. There we go.
Allegory.
There we go.
I scrolled
Um,
down. I just realized I had some boobs on the screen.
Nice.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, because of the yeah. There's a ton of boobs in this movie, actually.
Well, I have my channel flagged as adult only, so.
I would love.
You
Do
actually
you think you
caught
could
that,
play?
though. I didn't even see it.
Do you think you could play a YouTube clip? I think, or do you not want to try?
I don't think they're gonna go fly with that. They'll probably mute my whole thing because it's copyright.
Gotcha. Well, it's just filled with like totally crazy. First of all, he uses the tarot cards as the basis of all the characters,
Oh, okay.
which is like super weird. But there's like all these weird characters you meet along the way, and one of them is this I don't even know what you would call her. Like she's like a war merchant or something, like a weapons merchant.
Okay.
And she's like, that's the clip I want to. You should watch afterwards. I'll send it to you in the chat. But like,
yeah, type it
she
in the
like
chat right now, and then people can click on it themselves if they want to.
she designs weapons specifically for like specific groups. Like I have shotguns for hippies. I have sniper rifles for Buddhists and all this crazy shit.
That's awesome.
Like that, she makes guns for Jewish people. It's like a menorah gun. Like they're just like totally bizarre. Totally, it's just you just gotta watch it. It's really, really cool. And if you're on any substances, it makes it even more fun.
I have written it
Well,
down.
I might have to look into that.
Yeah, it's
The
super
movie or the
sick. Like
substances?
Well, either or both.
if you're in the mood for like a weird, like trippy movie, it's really, really cool.
Nice.
And it's one of those high brow, like he's talking about
No.
culture and the war and society
No.
and
We're yelling at
All
the
that
dog.
shit.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, get out of here.
but yeah, that's that. Let's move on because it's just it's just one of those weird ones you gotta check out for
Yeah,
yourself.
it's on
I
my
guess.
list. I'll rent it if I have
Stop
to.
flashing the tits.
Guys, not flashing. the
Oh yeah, tons of tits.
Yes.
boobs. Oh boy. All right. So on to Nate. Your number 3.
All right, it's gonna have to be Logan. Easily my favorite Marvel and X-Men movie today.
Oh, that is a good one.
So
I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
it's really good.
Really?
I haven't seen a lot. I haven't seen a lot of movies, bro.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Behind.
Oh man. Okay, there's no boobs on this screen, so I'm gonna show this.
Just make sure.
Make sure we're gonna double check.
I heard he hangs dong in it though, so watch out for that.
You're thinking of Batman.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad has dong.
Yeah.
Is it shark dong?
No, that would be amazing. It's so good.
Well, if it's Idris Elba, I'm down.
It's
Yeah.
Harley Quinn.
yes, it is
Harley
Harley
Quinn
Quinn.
hangs dong.
Yeah.
I heard dolphins are kind of rapey, but
Oh god,
They
sharks. They kill sharks.
Sharks are perfect gentlemen.
Yep.
so Nate.
So
we got
Nate,
off topic
we
real
got
quick.
off topic about dolphins. Now we're gonna steer it right back on course. What's your favorite scene in this movie?
Oh, it's a toss up between when X-23 fucks up the mercenaries at the Xavier's hideout, and then when Wolverine takes the Berserker drug and starts just fucking everyone up in the forest scene.
That was
Hell
good.
yeah.
That's a good scene. Did you see that in theaters with us, Hank? Or
I did.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that the ending is great too. I don't want to give that away,
it
but
really is. Yeah, it's so good.
is there anything else you want to add to that, Nate?
Not particularly. I mean, I feel like those were the highlights of the film.
Like, is that their only rated R? Or I guess that and Deadpool, yeah?
Yeah, well, it's the only rated R X-Men movie.
He
Yeah.
does swear a lot more.
He
in
swears
that.
a lot
He
more in that.
swears a lot more in that, and it's a lot more gruesome than I think.
Yeah.
That might be the most gruesome Marvel movie.
Yeah,
be
I think
honest,
that was
I
even
don't-
gorier than Deadpool.
I think they even had to edit it for like when they put it on, when they put it on TV. They
Definitely.
have to edit it heavily because the original cut of that is
Just lots of blades
very
going through
gory.
heads.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
arms sliced off and like
Gore spraying. It was pretty
yeah,
great. It's
it was
what
amazing. And
it's
he gets
what a-
Oh,
messed
dude,
up,
the
too.
opening scene. The opening scene when they jump him at the limo.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just
Fucking
like,
brutal. I'm like, is this how we're starting this movie?
yeah, all right.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
in. It's just like, okay, 0 to 60. You had
Yeah.
opening credits and then blades through somebody's skull, and then blades through somebody's dick, and then blades through.
Yeah,
All right.
great.
And Miles, what's your number 3?
Oh, okay. So
Uh-oh.
I was
Debbie Does Dallas.
I was not trying to trend so much in one direction, but I like obviously the rest of my list will show I like mostly action movies. But this one I felt like throwing in the loop was just oh no.
Oh, no. I told you to
Yeah,
write it down, bro.
Um
Happy Gilmore?
no, not How High, but the other stoner movie.
Which
Half
stoner?
baked.
Half
Half
baked?
baked.
Harold and Kumar?
Half
Sorry,
baked.
I had a half baked moment right there.
You did. You did.
All right. So
Did I play that off good or no?
you played it off pretty good.
No, I didn't mean to
Apparently
do
I
that.
found the
I didn't
German
mean to do
version.
that.
Dieser Film macht
Oh, I mean,
Shooting.
the first okay, so the first scene when they're like, the first time we did it, we got high, we got real high, and they're like in the freaking like the convenience store, and like the one guy's standing with the comic book, and the guy is like the full character standing next to him, and it's like. And like I've never been this thirsty in my entire life. Like there's just, I mean, there's scenes in that movie that are just timeless. And I mean the cast, the munchie scene.
Yeah.
This horse is a diabetic. I just gave him some pink popcorn. The first time I saw that, and why it will forever be on my top 3, is because I literally fucking cried through that entire movie. The first time I saw it, I was high. I was real high. And I fucking watched that shit, and I was just crying like, the entire time. Couldn't stop. So that's about all I have to say about that.
That's a-
Anyone who hasn't seen it, see it. Even if you're not a stoner, it's still fucking
Oh.
funny as hell.
That's so fine. It's so quintessential 90s, too.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like it is the 90s.
Yeah.
No, my favorite scene is just like 2 seconds when the doctor comes on. He's like, "Oh, janitor, janitor," and he turns around. Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
just so snide about it. Yes, I have a name.
No, the funniest part
Oh,
about
it's scientist. I'm sorry.
yeah, scientist.
I'm sorry. Katie was right. Yes, scientist.
And then it goes on too, because he's like, all right, because he's like, I need you to go bring this down. He's like, all right. He hands him the mop, and he's like, all right, just finish cleaning up the rest of the shit for me, scientist. And then he walks away down with the slip.
I can have some of this. Like as he's walking away, he's still grabbing
Yeah,
more
and
weed
he's
out
like
of the bag.
stuffing it into his pockets and shit, and he's like licking his fingers, like, oh my god, oh my god.
I should watch that. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I haven't seen that since college.
Okay, so yeah, that's why. Okay, so right there, that just it's just a funny movie, hilarious. If you're having a bad day, it will pick you up. Like these guys are such fucking stoner fucking rejects. Like that, it's just hilarious. The guy goes to jail for feeding a diabetic horse like candy and shit.
It's just a whole bunch of
He's like-
candy.
And they call him up, right? He gets his one phone call, and he's like, well, I forget his name, but they're like, hey, how long do you think you'll be able to last in there? He's like, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6 hours. And they're like, dude, your bail's like 200 or whatever.
You're a cop killer.
And he's like, I'm not a cop killer. I'm a nice person. I'm a kindergarten teacher, for Christ's sake. Like, oh my god. Every character has their own thing, and it's just.
Oh, I got it. I got it from Jerry's cousin, Barry Garcia. Okay. Oh, I forgot about that movie.
It's a good one.
Matt, what
Yes.
is your number 3?
My number 3 is Blade Runner: The Final Cut.
Oh, I was
It was
wondering what
released.
cut.
It was released in 2007. It is the only version that Ridley Scott had 100% control over.
Really?
Fantastic movie starring Harrison Ford, based on Do Androids Dream of Electric Sleep, or inspired by. It's not based on that. Yeah, like I said, there were 7 of these versions made. There are 7 different versions made of this movie.
I have seen 3 of them.
Um,
I've been looking for all of them just to
Well,
see how different they are.
So this is not.
A couple of them are test screenings, so you might not be able to find those.
Oh,
But like the worst one, or the one that I find most offensive, is there was one version made for TV, and
no.
TV execs, they didn't think that people would be able to handle not knowing at the end if Ford was actually a replicant or not.
oh no.
So they edited in their own series of events, so it lays out, in their opinion, whether he's a replicant or not.
Oh no. That's like the
Which
whole
like
point of the movie.
defeats, yeah, that defeats the entire purpose of the movie, and yeah, but it's fucking phenomenal. I don't. What do I have to say about Blade Runner?
Well, it's got one of the best soundtracks.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It's slow. It's a slow movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's a slow burn, but it's fantastic. If you like philosophical dramas, if you just like sci-fi, hardcore sci-fi, yeah.
Go on, you go.
Movies like that make me miss like when they used to build models for all like the cities and
Practical
shit.
effects. They
Yeah,
did
that's
that
another,
for
yeah, the
2049.
practical effects.
Just so you
Yeah.
guys know, they did that for 2049.
Yep.
That had a great
Yeah,
soundtrack too.
Ridley Scott too, man. Ridley Scott's attention to detail and building worlds and building sets and all that is just
Yeah,
amazing.
that's
Absolutely.
cool.
Quintessential.
Yeah.
He's in my honorable mentions. I got a film by him.
Yeah,
Oh,
Right on.
nice.
I'd have to say as well.
Where are we? Oh, it's my turn.
Number
Does
2.
anyone else have anything to say
Oh,
about Blade Runner? I can tell you to read the comics. There's Blade Runner 2019 and Blade Runner Origins. If you're any fan of the movies at all, check those out.
There's an anime that's not half bad.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't remember what it's called, but I would
There's
imagine
a
it's Blade Runner in the name.
There's a new one coming out on Adult Swim too, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, great soundtrack. Some of the best visual effects of its era, or maybe ever.
Yeah.
If
And
you're
the
talking
world
practical.
too. the dense world he built is just
There's a reason.
beautifully horrifying.
There's a reason when somebody says cyberpunk, they're talking about Blade Runner.
Yep.
And
Got
there's a
that out.
reason cyberpunk is always Asian letter neon lights
Yes.
because of that movie.
That's a bag. I
Uh,
gotta plug my phone in. real quick.
sure.
Dying. She dying.
Let's see here. On to me. My number 3. I'm not a huge horror movie fan. Like I like maybe 3 of them, but this movie holds a spot in my heart forever, and that is The Thing. This is probably
I knew this was gonna end up on.
dude. This is
The
not.
old one?
Yeah, the old one. Not the, I never watched the remake, but let's not get into that. This is only number 3 on my list of top 5 movies, but it's my favorite horror movie.
It's so good.
Just the practical effects in this, the creature design, the fact that's again with the Blade Runner thing, you're never sure who the monster is. You're not even sure if the
Yeah.
main character is a monster by the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I showed Katie the opening 20 minutes of The Thing, and she has refused to watch it.
There is a specific reason.
There
though.
is. Has a spoiler alert. It involves a dog, and Katie is a very dog-loving person.
Yes.
Oh, when the thing happens with the.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that thing.
Yeah.
All she did was yell, "Turn this off!" Who made this? John Carpenter. He's a monster, and she walked out of the room. And we've never watched any more of that movie. Every time I'm like, "Do you want to give it another shot?" She just goes, "No, no, not at all, never." What did you say? I never want to watch that movie. Well, she also has a thing for
That's
spiders.
It's pretty
Oh,
intense too.
Yeah, it
So-
doesn't help either, does it?
So when her favorite animal turns into a person-sized killing machine spider that's like spraying webs all over the other dogs and then eating them. Yeah,
Classic.
it wasn't her favorite moment.
Classic.
But I was laughing the whole time. I wasn't even watching the movie. I was watching Katie watch the movie. She didn't even get to the part where the guy's head falls off and it's running around. Oh,
Oh my! In the kitchen.
I gotta
Yeah.
watch that movie.
That's
that's one of my favorite scenes. Where, like it just grows out of its eyeballs. These
Oh,
spider
man.
legs. It's
I was
amazing.
watching the other day, they had a little clip of it.
You
I was
were.
like, oh my god.
I was like, that's the thing. You were watching. Oh,
Something
Daniel
bad
Radcliffe.
time.
Some Daniel Radcliffe movie about getting a girlfriend. I don't remember what it's called. I didn't pay attention. But it almost made you watch The Thing again, right? And you're like, if it's good enough for Adam Driver, I guess I can watch it.
It's got that dark feeling in that movie too. Really.
Oh yeah.
Like
There's almost
and
no
the
music.
blizzard. The blizzard is like heavy and like.
Like you're not getting anywhere. We got to
Yeah.
figure this out, or we're all gonna die. And just the way like the blood reacts to the fire is awesome, and like, just like okay, if you don't, it's like if you don't sit down and take this test, I'm gonna shoot you right here. Like,
Throw a flare at it.
oh, it's amazing. And like,
Yeah.
I've watched it a few times, and there is like visual clues on who's the first to die and like who's the first to transform.
Yeah.
You got to watch it a few times to catch them all. But yeah, you never do figure out if the main character is actually a monster or not.
Right on.
But yeah, definitely watch that movie if
It
you haven't.
spawned so many ripoffs and clones and
Oh yeah,
shit,
so many
too.
made
The
for
thing
TV
has,
The Thing
like,
ripoffs.
the X Files.
Yeah,
They have the Thing episode. Yeah.
Micah, have you seen this, or is this another one you haven't seen?
I have not seen.
You haven't seen anything on these lists. Jeez.
I know. I haven't seen a lot of this.
No, yeah. Did you get the Davis? Is that
That's
good?
all right.
Yeah.
That's
it
all
is.
right. Speaking of Micah, what's your number 2?
Oh, my turn.
Yep.
My number 2 is There Will Be Blood.
Oh
Ooh,
my god, yeah.
there's
I-
one I haven't
I-
seen.
Love this movie. This movie is fucking
I'm not
awesome.
Sure if I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've only seen only seen it once, but I've only, for whatever reason,
Oh yeah.
I've only watched movies once, but it's left a hell of an impression. Like it just the first of all, what's his name? The actor there that everyone is
Daniel
crazy about.
Day-Lewis.
What's it?
Daniel
Yeah, he's so sick in it. He's yeah, he's he goes full Bill the Butcher, total psycho. It's just an awesome performance, and a shitload of like great lines too, like and also an amazing soundtrack. Speaking of great soundtracks,
Yeah, it
earlier
is.
we were talking.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. What's his name? Johnny Greenwood, I think. He's what is he from? Radiohead? Is that where he's from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the soundtrack's like sick. It's really awesome.
So is it like
Uh,
it looks like a western. Is it a western?
No, it's the time period is like he's like an oil baron, right?
Oh.
Yeah, so it's based on it's supposedly like inspired by Oil by Upton Sinclair. I tried
Oh.
reading it
Yeah.
and it was a little dry and it wasn't as much like the film as I would have liked, but yeah, it's about like he's basically one of the earliest oil guys essentially, like
Oh, okay.
like as that industry is just kind of like kicking off in America. So he's like he got in early and obviously he ultimately becomes like insanely rich, but it's about like a lot of stuff. Like he goes into a town and there's like a preacher there and like they have like this weird kind of like face off where he's all about the preacher is like a young kid when he's like speaks for God basically, and then this guy is kind of calling him out and saying he doesn't fucking believe him that he believes, and like there's like a lot of like
It's
a
good.
lot of themes and messages going on. Like it's another one of those like
Really.
allegorical type films, but it's like about power and corruption and
Mhm.
insane like profit at all costs kind of a thing, and
Oh, that
it's just
doesn't happen
great.
today at all.
It's in
Yeah.
my opinion, it's also such a good story in itself, just a human
Yeah.
story. Like if you
Yeah.
don't get into the whole allegory thing and looking deeper into things than what's on the surface, still a fantastic movie.
Totally
Still a
like
really good movie. It's just brutal life.
yeah, very grimy. Yeah, like it's like every scene feels like you're getting like dirt under your fingernails because
Yeah.
everything is so slimy and dirty and like filled like it's like smells like cigarette smoke. Every scene feels like it's a sick fucking movie.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, all the characters are awesome. Like there's I don't know, there's just a lot you can say about it. It's just like I can't remember his name. Paul Thomas Anderson. Is that there's that other director who makes horrible movies who has like the same name. I can't remember.
Oh, you don't like his
Yeah,
movies?
the fucking Resident Evil guy.
Oh no.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. Okay, I
no.
thought you were talking about Wes Anderson.
Oh
That's
no, I like
why.
Wes Anderson
I'm
movies.
like, whoa, Wes Anderson. Okay,
No,
that
he's
makes
good.
more
He's-
sense. Yeah, that
yeah,
makes
no,
more
no,
sense.
I'm talking about the Resident Evil like fucking shitty video game movie guy. No, but it's just like it looks amazing. Like every scene is like incredible, and like there's just so many cool characters, and I don't know, there's great lines too. Like I since you haven't seen it, Joe, I won't go into it, but there's just killer like monologues that they go on that get you all pumped. It's really good.
Yeah, to go off what you were saying too, the settings and everything, the cinematography of this movie and
Yeah.
the filters they use just bring
Yeah.
it to a whole nother level too. I mean,
Dude,
it's just-
all his
beautiful
movies
work.
look so good. They're
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
yeah.
Very, very fucking. I would agree. That was. I mean, I don't. As soon as you said the name of the movie, I mean, there's so many movies, but sometimes you don't remember them until you hear the name. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was that oil movie, and that very. I mean, it's gut wrenching in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is weird. It gets under your skin in a weird way. Like I said, I saw it one time a million years ago in like Binghamton, I think. And I have to watch it again. I haven't seen it in so long, but like I can remember like every scene of the movie. It's insane.
Yeah.
I won't give any details, but the ending of that movie too.
Yeah, sick.
is something else. Something
Yeah.
like
It's so good, man.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Everything, every moment builds to a more exciting moment. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
it's not what you expect, but at the same time, it's not a twist. It's just like a completely different way of like. I don't want to say too much, Joe. Really got to see it.
All
It's
right,
just
I
a
wrote it.
Yeah.
I wrote that down.
And what's better than Daniel Day-Lewis doing his thing anyway?
DDL,
Yeah,
baby.
DDL.
Dude, he tears it up.
Yeah, he does.
All right.
Everything he does.
Nate, what is your number 2? What is your dude?
Well, Katie kind of stole my thunder already, but it was Edward Scissorhands.
Okay. Well, we didn't talk about it in depth at all.
Okay.
All right, we didn't talk about it yet though, because Katie refused to.
Dude.
So
It's such an awesome movie.
I think probably the most standout scene is when Edward gets pissed at the nosy neighbor bitch and carves her bushes into like the demon or dragon or whatever. And
Yeah.
purifies her.
points it right at the window just to fuck with her. I think that was the first movie where the nerd from Breakfast Club wasn't a nerd.
Oh yeah,
What's
total
his,
asshole.
what's his name? What's his name? Michael's?
It's like a 3 name. It's a something Michael something. Yeah.
Michael Sean Scott
No.
Pennery. I don't know. It is Michael something, isn't it?
Yeah, Michael's in there for sure.
Let me-
It's in there, but I don't know if it's his first name.
I
Sean-
can't remember
Shawn
either. Yeah.
Michaels? No, that's a wrestler.
Sean something Scott.
No.
Uh,
I know it.
Oh, Anthony Michael Hall.
there we
There you
go.
go.
Lewis.
Anthony what? No.
Oh, that guy
He's like a
also
good
made-
asshole in that movie too. Actually,
um,
you totally buy it. Also, Winona Ryder at her absolute hottest. Total babe.
body. I really like the color selections of this movie.
Yeah, looks
Yeah.
cool.
When they finally get to town and everything's pastel and perfect, and then you got Edward Scissorhands, the ultimate mall goth, going through
Yeah.
town. On his
Yeah,
red
another
hot top
director with very specific like art direction eye.
and
Yeah.
specific actor direction eye.
No,
Yeah,
I think that's actually the brightest movie by Tim Burton
He's
I've ever
made.
seen.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
I love his
true.
his idea though, his version of suburban America.
Just
Like
an
it's
absolute
so,
nightmare.
it's so good. Yeah, fake grass, neon, everything, just
Yeah.
bullshit. And,
The dad in that movie is so funny.
yeah.
He's like such a good like, hey Edward, like he's totally on board with Edward Scissorhands. He doesn't care at all. He's just like, pour a drink, Ed. He's just like totally like,
Oh, when he
chill.
gets the whiskey for the first time,
yeah.
he just falls over. Or gets the water bed popped. Oh my lord.
The scene
That's
that always
classic.
stood out to me personally was when he figures out that he can start cutting hair. So then they start, he
Yeah.
just, like, and then all these women are walking around with like these crazy, like he does the sculptures for the like almost just as crazy like hairdos, and they're all like, hell yeah, Edward's great, and he's just like.
No, well, speaking of hair, the creepiest scene is when that one single lady is trying to open
Oh,
the
yeah.
salon with him, and he's just like, I don't know what's happening.
Mm.
I like the sad part of that movie.
Katie likes the sad parts of the
Like
movie,
when
she
his
says.
creator dies and his scissors go through the hands he
Uh,
created.
Did you guys hear that?
Oh, yeah.
that's a good scene.
Gut wrenching.
Yeah.
That also the kill scene at the very end is like really powerful for some reason. Like it's because it's like it's so silly all the way, not silly, but it's like lighthearted all the way through, and then that scene is like very, very, I don't know, like it gets you.
Getcha. He lost his innocence. He became the monster everybody thought he was.
And he's still up there alone and like so
Yeah.
sad. She never went back to go see him. It's just an old grandma at
He's
the
like
end.
clockwork inside though, kind of though, right?
I don't
Like,
know.
that's
I don't.
how he could. I thought that was the.
I know
is
he's
he,
like a
kinda
monster.
Clockwork human.
I think he's like
He's
Frankenstein.
artificial. Yeah, he's not real.
Yeah. No,
I
yeah.
think he's more of like a Frankenstein-y.
Yeah.
And technical sense.
In a
Yeah.
technical, yes, I think. I
What
think
is
he's-
human?
Now, what
As we
is-
just talked about
the
Blade
Thing
Runners.
and Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I think, judging from his outfit, Edward Scissorhands is 80% buckles.
Yeah.
I think he's made out of buckles.
So was he
Yes.
designed as like to trim the bushes around that estate, that big mansion and shit?
He just never. He died before giving him his hands.
I feel like,
No, I thought he was like a companion.
Yeah, he's like a
yeah, I felt like a creepy Pinocchio to me. Like
Yeah.
it's Geppetto and Pinocchio.
Yeah.
It's just,
Hands for him.
yeah, but he died before getting his hands.
That's another impactful scene is when at the very yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be a spoiler alert. This movie is old as shit. So when he's like, sometimes she's like, sometimes it still snows, you know, and
Yeah.
he's like doing the ice sculptures. He's like all
Yeah.
the snow's falling.
The music too, actually. That's part of why that scene is so good. The music's awesome.
Oh, old John C. Riley or John C. Riley. What am I talking about? John C. Riley did the music for Edward Scissorhands.
Now you're making me wish I put Boogie Nights on my list.
What is his name?
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman. Why did I think
Danny Elfman,
John?
yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking John for Star Wars. That guy, Danny Elfman. Also, if speaking of
Like
Edward
Jeffrey
Scissorhands
Tambor.
and Danny Elfman, if you watch Batman Returns when the circus freaks attack the Christmas pageant, that song sounds so much like Taking Christmas from Nightmare Before Christmas. It's ridiculous. Making Christmas.
That's funny.
It's dun, 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 brrrr, brrrr, ho, 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 bah, 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 bah. That's Danny Elfman in a nutshell, but he does it well every time.
Without the claymation.
He does it.
Just to go off Danny Elfman, he actually recently did a collab song with Trent Reznor.
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, was it for a movie? Because Trent Reznor mainly does movies now, soundtracks.
Oh,
Do you know if it was for a movie soundtrack or just they just did some songs?
I actually don't know, but the song is called True.
Okay.
Well, Danny
Yeah, I'll
Elfman
check
has a
into it.
band. Katie just said.
Yeah, I watched. There's like a Netflix documentary, like how it was made, or movies we love, or something like that.
Word.
And he started. He started it as like a band. We all know the name of the band, actually. Like it's a famous band. I can't remember the name of it. And then he somehow got asked to do the soundtrack for Nightmare Before Christmas, and then he just started doing movies ever since then.
Well, I think
Yeah, if he's collabing with Trent Reznor, I would imagine it's for a soundtrack.
I think
I
Trent
put the
Reznor-
YouTube video in the chat.
I think Trent Reznor's
Oh, good
first music score for a film was The Social Network, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I think that's true.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, we gotta wait for Miles to get back. I'm gonna take a quick piss break.
Cool.
And
I'll be back in a minute.
all right. I'll see you guys in just a second. Get a drink.
All right,
Take
I'll
a
do the
piddle,
same.
and I'll see you back here in a few. All right. Is everybody back?
Yep.
I'm back.
Let's do it up.
Oh, okay. I hear you. All right. So we are on Miles. What's your deuce? What's your
Wait.
deuce?
I prefer to be called Neo Relic.
Neo Relic. Giving away that name a lot.
Blowing up his spot.
Well, you know, once you got monetized, I gotta take full advantage.
You gotta take full advantage.
Yeah. So, well, you can call me Miles or Neo. I don't give a shit. But okay, number 2. And shockingly, around the same time period as most of my other movies, it's gonna be Blade.
Blade. Oh, sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw this, and I'm talking the original Blade. Blade 2, Blade 3, and all the other ones suck. Okay, compared to the first one. The first one was dark. It was gritty. It had this plot line. He was not a nice guy. He wasn't nice to people. He just would slash them to hell. I mean, the weapons he had, the sword, the whole vampire underground theme was just, it was just I saw it in the movie theater. It was one of those, along with my number 1 and some of the other movies I watched. Like, you come out like, I remember coming out of there with almost like an adrenaline high. Like, out of the movie theater, like, holy shit, like that was nuts. The soundtrack was like EDM, like boom, 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 like the blood rave scene right off the bat. Like, come on,
That was
dude.
awesome.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can't.
The fire system is just human blood just
Yeah.
raining down on us.
And it's just like boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
And then Blade just drops in and is like, well, you're all
Yeah.
dead.
And then the music stops. That's the perfect
It's like,
thing. He's just standing there. And
They
they're
all
like,
turn.
they're like, get that fucker, get him. And he's just like, and he just starts like, it is. I remember seeing that. My mother took me to that movie. And I don't think she knew, like, she was like, oh, this Blade movie looks kind of, and like that, like, I don't know how old I was. Can we do a year check on that? I remember
Oh,
being
98.
98.
1998.
98, so I was born in 87, so
You're 11.
11 when I saw that in the theater.
In
though.
the
My
theaters
mom
with
took me-
mom. Blade.
Blade. And like the guys getting like is like things sucked in the background, like, and there's like sexual scenes in that movie and shit. Like,
An
Oh, man.
awkward breakfast with mom.
it was like, I remember that scene. They're like, get him, get that fucker, get him
He's
now,
just-
light him up, and he's just like draws like a circle around himself with the sword, and he's just like, okay, and he's just like shrink, shrink. You know what I mean?
And then his gun.
Shotgun, boom.
I was
like-
gonna say the gunplay is intense in that
He's
movie.
got like shotguns that shoot like spikes against
Uh,
the wall. He's like soup.
Doesn't he have like a rock salt one too?
Oh, dude, he's got
He's
like
got
all
everything.
kinds of shit in that movie, and like he meets up with that chick that's like reminds him of his mother, and they start having a relationship, and like so yeah, I don't want to yammer on forever, but if you haven't seen it, I definitely didn't spoil it. So
Yeah,
I told
everything
you-
we just said was in the first 5 minutes.
yeah, exactly.
Do you know who the writer of this movie is?
I don't.
Same person who wrote Dark City
Oh,
and
nice.
most of DC's current lineup. It's
not so
Steve
nice.
Goyer or David Goyer.
Oh,
David
are you
S.
talking
Goyer.
about comic lineup or movie lineup?
Movie lineup?
Oh,
Yeah, he wrote Dark City, he wrote Blade, and he wrote he's written a lot of the newer DC stuff.
right on. All right. Action-packed movie, some boobies, lots of killing. It's pretty much Blade. Moose, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Big Lebowski, also
Oh,
1999 or
nice.
98.
That's
It's on my honorable mentions.
Hells yeah. Coen Brothers, who also did Fargo and No Country for Old Men. Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, Julianne Moore, John Turturro, Philip Seymour Hoffman. I mean, it's just
Goes on.
Amazing, man. Yeah.
No, my
Yeah, that movie is fantastic.
the most memorable scene is when he's in the police station talking to the chief, and the first thing the chief does is do the pencil thing over, and it's just some dude with a huge dick on the notepad.
Yep. Yep.
Oh wait, no, he does that right before getting arrested. Never mind.
No, it's actually he does that when he's actually at the porn stars.
At the porn stars thing, and then
Island,
that's the
yup.
only thing he has on him when he gets arrested. So
Yeah.
oh my god.
Uh,
It's the next was it the
I
next
loved it.
level?
My
in
favorite scene
erotic-
is when Jeff Bridges and John Goodman go to the kid's house to get the money from him because they found his homework in the back seat and they're just screaming at him and beating up somebody's new fucking I don't know Firebird or Corvette or something. And
Well,
the guy
that's what
comes out
happens.
Screaming.
when you fuck
Yeah.
a stranger in the ass.
Yep.
Oh my god, that movie. There was
Classic.
there was a period in college where I watched it like 3 times a day for like 2 weeks. Just
It's funny as hell.
Yep.
I love when the ashes blow back in their face. It's so
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
oh my god, from a coffee can. That's the best
Yep.
way. It's just a Folgers tin of coffee full of their dead friends' ashes. It just goes all
John-
over his beard.
John Goodman dusts him out and stuff, turns around and sees it's all his face and tries like getting some of it off for him and stuff.
Fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling.
Fuck it, dude.
Oh, I love that movie.
I quote it nonstop.
Definitely goaded.
I
Definitely a goaded movie.
you gotta tell
Yeah,
tell
that's
some
good.
people that they're out of their element every now and then.
Yep.
You're out of your element.
Out of your fucking element. And this aggression will not stand. I use that one a lot
This
too.
aggression will not stand, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man. Yeah, I could probably recite the first like 2 hours of the movie like in a row.
I don't think I've seen a movie as many times as I've seen Big Lebowski.
No shit.
In fact, when I first moved in with Ashley and her mom, I watched that movie like 3 times a week. I just loved it. I still watch it all the time. Since I've moved here to Colorado, I've been here like 3 months. I've seen a movie 4 times. I'm not even joking.
Holy shit. That's
It's
amazing.
funny.
Yeah, this movie is endlessly quotable.
And
I had a really rough day and I fucking hate the Eagles. Get out of my cab. Get out of my cab. That part always sticks out for me too. Now, Katie, what's your number 2?
Almost famous.
Almost Famous.
It's a good movie.
yeah, I haven't seen that in a while now.
The soundtrack.
She says the soundtrack. Can you hear Katie talk?
We
Edmund?
can actually, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. You love the soundtrack.
Speaking of Philip Seymour Hoffman, I love
Oh.
that movie.
Yes.
And I love Penny Lane. I wanted to be Penny Lane for like 10 years. It's just a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
Just a great movie.
It's funny, it's sad.
It is pretty sad. That is a really sad movie if you think about it.
Yeah.
Well, Penny Lane's a sad character in general. Oh, sorry guys, my arm is itching. I got stung by a bee.
Stop actually itching though.
I know. I'm not
Put
trying
some
to itch.
freaking cortisone on that. Don't touch me with that thing either.
Ugh.
Ah.
Come on, it's just a bee sting.
No,
My
look at-
entire
okay,
arm
Chad,
is
Chad,
swollen
look
up.
at this. This was his reward for getting, the channel. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose.
If you can't tell, my arm, this bicep is twice the size of my other arm.
And this isn't from working out.
And it's not from working out or other activities.
Are you allergic to bees?
Apparently, I am now. I haven't been stung by a bee until.
Yeah, but you got stung like
20
18
years.
times on your ankles. The
Yeah,
other
I
day.
know.
That would have sent you to the hospital if you were allergic. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I think it probably hit you in a bad spot.
Yeah. I sat down in a cushioned chair at work and a wasp crawled out from under my butt and stung me in the arm. that sucked. All right.
But no, to go back to Almost Famous, the cast is amazing. I mean, there's so much. I particularly really like Jason Lee.
Me too.
Jason Lee's
Yeah.
amazing, and then Zoe Deschanel, who's very
And
hot.
Jason Scott Lee.
yeah.
Frances McDormand is really good.
Frances McDormand. Who's Frances McDormand?
She's the mother.
Oh, she's the mother. Okay.
Zoe Deschanel's in the movie.
Ooh.
Kate Hudson,
Kate Hudson's amazing.
Jimmy Fallon's in it.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Respectfully. Your manager needs a manager. Yeah, that is a great one. That is a pretty good. Even me and Katie don't always agree on what is a good movie, but that one we can agree on. Oh, it's my turn. Ooh,
Oh, for number 1?
no, for number 2.
Oh,
Number 2, and it's been mentioned in the stream twice already.
Dark City.
Dark City.
Yeah, Dark City's cool as hell.
It's one of the few movies that they're like, what do you want to watch? I don't know. You want to put Dark City on? I'm like, yes. Every time. I've never said no to watching Dark City. It's probably every other year?
No, I feel like we watch it each year.
I feel like we watch it each year. Just to say a little known fact about Dark City is they were not. So The Matrix was over budget, right? And they didn't have the funding to build any new sets after a bit, so they just took pieces of the Dark City set. And every time they're running over rooftops, that's the Dark City set.
That's cool.
What?
And I think there's only one actual famous actor in this movie, isn't there?
Yeah, the star has only been in a handful of
Rufus Sewell, Kiefer Sutherland, Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, I forgot about Connelly. How could I forget about Jennifer Connelly in that movie?
I
I feel
know.
like I've seen this movie, but I can't remember. I can't
This
remember it.
so fits the theme of the movie.
I know,
Actually.
right? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Dude, I just like how, man, I don't even know if because this isn't like a major hit movie, so I don't know if I want to get
No,
into
it's not.
spoilers. But
It stars the bad guy from A Knight's Tale.
it does star the bad guy from A Knight's Tale, which is a movie I really like, unironically.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah, that's not bad.
A lot of people on Reddit hate it, but
fuck Reddit.
Reddit hates everything.
Hey, that doesn't matter. We got our own circle.
That's right.
Good
No,
special
Dark
effects.
Dan, A Knight's Tale.
A Knight's Tale.
The Knight's Stay out of Knight's Tale.
Why did you just give away my
Leave.
number 1?
leave,
Damn it.
leave Heath Ledger alone.
Now I have to change it.
Plus, Knight's Tale's got the Vision in it. Just saying. Anyway, Dark City.
Yeah, it's
Great
really
special
cool.
effects. Very practical effects. The villains are fucking creepy with their teeth chattering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and
They're
like
kind of a cross between Borg and the things from Hellraiser.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hellraiser is probably my second favorite horror movie, but
I
really don't I want to dive into it, but I don't want to spoil it for people in chat because every time I bring up Dark City to someone I don't really know, they've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sleeper hit.
It's
Yeah.
it's definitely a cult classic.
Did it even go to theaters?
I have no idea.
Like I just saw it in a
Yeah, I think you might
in
be
a
right. I think it was a
Blockbuster
direct
or
to
something
video.
sometime.
Yeah.
Made for TV movie. No. I have not heard of it. Bread fan, you need to watch it.